Alright, here we go. A big day here in Jacksonville for the Jaguars training camp. Today was a little bit intriguing because Brian Thomas Jr., as you can see right here, was a little bit sick today. Did not practice his day-to-day. Should be fine. Just a little bit of an illness, right? However, some more guys got an opportunity to showcase what they could do with the starting offense in terms of Parker Washington, Joshua Cephas, Travis Hunter, Dyami Brown. So in this video, we're going to break down all those news and notes and highlights and observations from today's practice. However, before we dive in, I do want to give a major shout out to Jamal. He does a great job covering this team and allowing us to utilize these clips and these highlights and these news and everything, right? Kind of to make these videos. So go give him a follow. If you are a Jaguars fan or a Travis Hunter fan, make sure you guys are following Jamal, man. He does, again, such a great job. So with that being said, we're going to break down everything you need to know because they are just a couple of days away from that first preseason football game. They're starting to ramp things up just a little bit and getting more involved in 11-on-11s and 7-on-7s early in practice. So we're going to jump right into things pretty quickly here. We also saw a little bit of some DBs going through some drills, but what I want to show you right here is look at Travis Hunter. You see how he has that white little penny on, right? But behind that, he has a wide receiver jersey on. Over the last few days, they've been implementing him switching sides of the ball pretty much like within 4 or 5 play span. Working with the first team offense. Then once the second team offense comes in, boom, there he is. He's out with the second team or the second team defense, right? So he's really trying to get that stamina where it needs to be to play both sides of the football. And I'm very, very intrigued to see what they utilize him with in terms of that first preseason football game. Are they going to utilize him on both sides of the football? Are they going to let him go out there and run both sides of the football early on in these preseason games? Or are they going to ease him into it? That is just something I'm very curious to see. But I do like the fact that they've implemented switching sides mid-practice and not just having a wide receiver day, then a DB day, then a wide receiver, you know what I mean? So, again, very tough to play both sides of the football, but Travis Hunter, if there's a guy to do it, it's him. So like I said, they immediately got into 11-on-11s today, wasted no time at all. So that's kind of what we're going to look at right now. And again, Jamal does a great job covering almost every single play here. But the first play was a handoff to Tank. I believe yesterday they switched it up, was a handoff to Etienne, but Tank back taking those first team carries, that first rep of practice. Etienne still getting up a big chunk of those first team reps, don't get me wrong, but they do love Tank as a downhill runner. We also had Trevor Lawrence to Parker Washington. A big catch down the field. We talked a little while ago with BTJ out. There's guys that are getting some opportunity here, and Parker Washington is one of those guys that I think could have a massive jump up. He had a big catch deep down the field. Tyson and Dewey on him tight, went up and got it. Coach Cohen hype came out onto the field to dap him up. Parker Washington, we saw him in a video yesterday kind of getting coached up by Liam Cohen, and today it seems like that coaching kind of benefited. Parker Washington and Dyami Brown, we were starting 2 receivers in 2 wide receiver sets, so probably 12 personnel. We had a handoff to Travis Etienne here. We had a handoff to Tank with a nice move outside. We had a handoff to Tuin, who is getting those first reps with the second team, which is what we expect. You sometimes see Travis Etienne with them as well. Nick Mullins to Trammell, pass complete. Thomas and Prince were there. Another handoff to LaQuinn Allen, who I like, and they want to keep 4 running backs on this roster. We'll see exactly how they utilize 4 guys, and if they do want to utilize 4 guys, but I can almost guarantee you that there'll be at least 3. I think Tuin is going to play this season, maybe not a ton, but I do think he'll play a decent amount. Handoff to Tuin, he was grabbed at the line. Back to the ones, Trevor Lawrence handoff to Etienne, tried to bounce it. I'm guessing he wasn't able to bounce it because tried. We had a completion to Parker Washington over Yasir, bounced off Dewey after making the catch. Handoff to Tank, just a pile. Also, really quickly, before we get back into it, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the family, but go follow Jamal because you can ask questions. So if you have a question about who started where or who did what today, you can ask him and he'll answer pretty much all your questions for every day at practice, okay? So make sure you guys go follow him and subscribe to the channel, join the family for more Jaguar videos, and let's kind of dive back into it. You got some more here. John Wolford, handoff to Tuin. Nice read, found space. Tuin is really good in terms of finding that initial space and bursting it for a big home run play. But I will say at times he struggles with fumbles, and actually his first carry ever for the Jacksonville Jaguars in a practice setting, obviously, was a fumble. And I believe it was OTAs or mandatory minicamp it had happened. But that is something, if he can fix, he could be really good. Wolford tucks and runs, handoff to Jackson, another handoff to Jackson. Now we get into one-on-one red zone opportunities with a Dyami Brown and Tyson, kind of one-on-one matchup here. Outside release, one-handed catch, touchdown for Dyami Brown. I think he is going to go down as one of the most underrated pickups of the offseason. He's going to be explosive for this offense. He's going to be able to take the top off of defenses. I think he's going to be fun to watch this year. We had Washington versus Lewis, inside out route, complete touchdown for Parker Washington. We had Joshua Cephas versus Travis Hunter. This is one I'm excited for. Fade, complete touchdown. Hunter didn't get his head around. I like Cephas a lot, man. I really do. Panko versus Braswell, incomplete, tight coverage. We had Wallace versus Irwin, incomplete. Brown versus Tyson. Once again, complete in break route. Tyson was all over him, but Brown held on. Again, Dyami Brown, man, sign me up. Sign me up for that dude. I think he's going to be legit. We had Lewis versus Hunter. Okay. Incomplete, outbreaking route. Patient play by Lewis. Tight coverage, no space. We had Lassiter versus Prince. Complete good catch on with Prince being tight in coverage. Let's see. We got anything else here? Right here. So we had Washington versus Murray. Outbreaking route, completed touchdown. Washington looking really good today. And another one. Dyami Brown versus Travis Hunter. Tight coverage from Travis. Ripped it out. Incomplete. Okay. Travis Hunter. Big play. Let's go. A couple more before we end this video, and then you guys can go follow Jamal and check out everything else that happens. We had red zone 11 on 11 from the 5-yard line. So these is cool. We'll try to cover the rest of these with the starters. Trevor Lawrence runs. Trevon Walker would have had a sack, so defense wins that first rep. I like this. I like how he does this right here. Trevor Lawrence to Parker Washington. Dude, he is snapping today. Parker Washington breaking out. Could be that wide receiver 3, man. Love Parker Washington. Touchdown the back corner with Eric Murray in coverage. That's a win for the offense. Let's see if we have any more here again. He updates it pretty much by the minute. So we had another one with a Trevor Lawrence to Travis Etienne. Short pass complete. Murray does get the stop, so the defense wins another rep there. All right, so we have a couple more here. Red zone, 11 on 11, 5-yard line. Nick Mullins to Irwin with the touchdown. Another win for the offense there. We had Nick Mullins to Cephas. Pass was incomplete. Another win for the defense. We had a false start from the offense, which is not good. Nick Mullins to Trammell for a touchdown. Wide open. Savage was the closest guy. Looks like he's kind of fallen down the depth chart slightly. And they, Andrew Wingard moving up. But it looks like that's it. I might wait a second or two to see if I can find any more starters. But we'll see in a second. So there were a few more that happened in this red zone 11 on 11. You guys can go check them out if you want more coverage here from Jamal. Go follow him. I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a little bit more coverage from today. But I am going to end the video. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications for more updates. But most importantly, go follow Jamal. Because again, there's probably going to be way more coverage just from today's practice. Ask him a question if you want anything to be answered. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.